What's up, everybody? You're listening to The Savage Life with Raquel Savage, brought to you by 2K Life Network.
Freak hoes, freak hoes, freak hoes, freak hoes. Bounce that ass, make your knees touch your elbows. Freak hoes, freak hoes. Bounce that ass, make your knees touch your elbows. Yeah, any minute, man, they gotta get more re-up. Bitch, I got the red bottoms on with my feet up. Freak hoes.
Make sure you subscribe to our iTunes and follow our SoundCloud. Just type 2K Life Network into the search bar. If you aren't already, please follow me on Twitter. That's Raquel_Savage, RAQUEL_Savage, and Instagram, Raquel Savage. So, in the studio today, I have Flex with me.
Hola,
Flex, what's up?
I'm back. Hi, guys.
Look, I have to admit something to y'all. I'm feeling really silly right now.
I think it's the Hennessy.
Like, we're gonna have an alcohol problem filming this or recording the show because
But it's not really a problem, I don't think. I think just helps things go a little more organically.
I know it like helps us feel loose, but I feel so silly right now. I don't know what is happening.
I'm with you though. Whatever you're feeling, I'm feeling too. But I think it's lit. It's good.
All right,
We're
so
okay.
but look. All right, I have a story for you, Flex. I have a story.
Okay.
So, a few weeks ago, I went over to this dude's house. Mm-hmm. It was just a regular, like, standard Netflix and chill, like, type of night.
Okay.
Like, come over, we're going to chill, hang out, boom, whatever.
Okay.
So, I'm like, cool. So, I still dress nice. I put my, like, heels on, look fancy.
But you're going to the house, you put heels
yes,
on?
I put wedges on.
Okay.
I don't have, like, stilettos on. I put wedges on.
Okay.
Side note, since I moved to Miami, I've been wearing wedges a lot.
You don't have to. At least that's me, but I'm very single, so I'm not the one to talk to because
No, but before I moved here, I felt like wedges were like a Mexican girl thing.
No,
I'm gonna be totally honest. Like, I'm from Maryland, and in Maryland, no one wears wedges. Like, it's stilettos
cold
or
and
not.
shit, because it's cold and but we have a lot of hot days, even though it's December,
Yes.
November. So sometimes you still want to look cute, but
So I wear my wedges.
Yeah, it works out.
All right, so I've been wearing lots of
Florida
wedges.
now. It's okay.
All right, cool. I know the men listeners don't know what wedges are, but the lady listeners, they understand what I'm talking about. So I have my wedges on.
Okay.
And I'm a little dressed, whatever. I go over to his house, and we're on the couch watching the movie. Mm-hmm. And
Do you remember what movie it was? Probably not.
I don't remember. To be honest, like, does anyone remember what Netflix and chill movies they're watching?
Netflix and chill.
Is you don't remember.
You have no clue what's happening.
Right.
You go there with the full
Look,
intention
we know what's
of
up.
doing what's about to happen. Yeah.
Netflix and chill really means
Netflix and
you're sucking my dick watching a movie.
Yeah.
All right. So I have no clue what's on the TV, but he pulls my legs and my feet into his lap.
Okay.
And I'm thinking that he's just trying to get comfortable. But he starts, like, rubbing on my toes in my wedges, in my Mexican girl wedges.
With the shoes on?
Yes, I still have my shoes on. So he's, like, rubbing on my toes, and he's, like, putting his fingers in between, like, my big toe and second toe and, like, rubbing it up and down. And I'm kind of freaking out in my head because I'm like, I want to laugh because it tickles a little bit.
Right.
But I'm like, I'm going to be sexual, sexy. It's fine.
Did it feel good?
It did feel good, but it also tickled a little.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
It's like when you're getting a pedicure and they like...
Exactly. Right.
You're like trying to be serious or like...
I want to laugh, but I'm like, I'm going to be sexy. I'm dedicated to this.
Yeah.
I'm dedicated.
You're committed.
So, exactly. So he takes my shoes off and he starts giving me, like, a foot massage. And I'm like, oh, this is fucking lit. Like, this feels great. We're relaxing. And then he puts his toes, my toes.
Your toes.
In his mouth.
In his mouth.
Both of them.
Like both.
All of them.
At the same damn time.
Both of my feet into his mouth.
That's interesting as fuck. But sucking toes is lit. I mean, not that I suck toes, but
Sucking toes is lit.
that shit feels
but
great.
it's different when you're like having sex and you have your ankles on his shoulders and he like grabs a foot and puts it in your mouth type shit versus we're sitting on the couch and he puts both of your fucking feet in his mouth.
Took off your Mexican wedges.
Exactly. Like this is an entirely different situation
yeah,
here.
it is. It sounds really different.
So both of my feet are in his mouth. I'm tripping in my head, but I'm like I said earlier, I'm dedicated to this.
Yes.
So he's like going
He is
back and
too.
forth. You know, he is
too.
dedicated. He's like licking the arch of my foot. He's licking each of my toes, big toe, second toe, third toe. He's going in.
And this is his.
This is it. It's happening.
Is it okay? So like, did it feel really like?
To be honest, it honestly did feel good.
He's done this before.
I can tell that this is his thing.
Okay.
Like this is not, it's not like he was like, oh, Raquel's going to come over and, oh, I like her feet. No, I can tell that feet is his thing. He's a pro at licking
toe jam.
arches and toes and heels and everything.
That's lit.
Look, so he's licking each toe. Spit is like dripping down my ankles at this point. Like he's getting fucking sloppy with it. Like,
that sounds so crazy.
All right, but he pulls his dick out.
Okay.
So in my head, I already know what's up. I'm like, all right, so he obviously wants my foot to be on his dick, but I'm not ready. Like I have never done this before. Have you ever? No, come on. Have you ever did it?
It doesn't seem like you have a choice. I don't know what you call it. Is it a foot job?
Foot
like
jobs.
a hand job? It's a foot job. Yeah, I've never given a foot job. I hate feet.
Right?
Let me just, if I could live my life without feet, it'd be really okay with me. Like,
so imagine me sitting here with this guy and we're basically about to do this foot job.
I couldn't imagine like spit all on your
and
feet.
Spit is everywhere. It's very sloppy.
Okay, so how did? Finish,
all right, so
let me know.
Yeah. So my feet are wet. He pulls his dick out. So he takes both of my feet and he smushes them together onto his dick, and he starts like guiding me to like move it up and down. So I get the motion. I'm like, all right, I got it. I understand. So I'm like jacking his dick off with my feet.
Honestly,
you know, I'm moving up and down.
No, this sounds like you're doing in and outs at the gym. Like
it's honestly very uncomfortable.
No, it sounds like
I am very uncomfortable. The position that we're in, it's not flattering for me.
No.
Like I don't think I look sexy, but he's feeling it, so I'm going with it.
You definitely got your core workout at
Let me
that
tell you
moment
something.
Because did you have to like prop your hands up on
Yes,
like the
I'm holding myself back because I know, look, I have to keep doing it because the whole point is I want him to come. So I can't not do it because I'm uncomfortable. So I'm like, let me fucking do this properly. So I'm trying to hold myself up. My stomach is hurting. My thighs are hurting.
No,
I get a Charlie horse.
No, but low-key though, I have a potassium deficiency. And like no, the way my toes are set up is that I would very much cramp the fuck up if I was in this position. And like, how long did it take him? Did he come?
Yes,
like,
he did. It took about like, I'm going to say 8.5 minutes.
Nah, I don't have 8.5 minutes.
No, 8.5 minutes of core workout. This is, I don't even work out anymore. This is my ab workout for the week.
You're done for the month.
Exactly. But it's not just abs. It's like abs, thighs, calves, toe work.
Full body workout.
It is.
Yeah. Shout out to him. He signed him up. Personal trainer.
Exactly.
He did that.
Yo, he motivated me though.
Yeah. So like,
look, like he obviously has a foot fetish.
Clearly.
You are now listening to the sounds of the 2K Life Network.
Like, because the whole time that this is happening, I'm like putting his dick in between my toes. I'm doing the whole 9. He's loving it. And he's acting like this is the ultimate source of pleasure.
The fact that he even pulled his dick out from
a feet situation.
Yeah, that clearly says he has like a thing. That is his thing.
He has a foot fetish. And let me tell you something. Foot fetishes are actually the most common fetish. Out of all the fetishes, it's the most common.
I'm not surprised because I know a lot of people that like that's a big deal for them. Like when they mention like
nice.
What they like about girls, they say they want the feet to look nice and all that stuff. Like,
but you know what? There's a difference between I like a girl to have nice toes, pedicured toes, versus I'm going to put your fucking toes on my dick until I come. There's a difference.
Like, I don't know how I'd feel if, like, every time I have sex with a nigga, like, I got to fucking...
Pull your toes out.
Do a foot job before I have sex with him. Like, That I don't know how I feel about that. Like, this nigga's really addicted to my feet. Like,
no, so a fetish specifically is like an atypical sexual arousal to an object, a body part, or an activity. Okay. So it can be a number of things. Like, we can think of fetishes for days.
No, I'm
but
sure.
These are different things, atypical things that arouse you sexually.
So, like, do you think that this nigga, like, I don't know,
Look,
he
has a foot fetish.
Yeah, so, like, does he have to always have feet?
You know what? No, I don't think so. See, and this brings up another thing. I'm going to introduce a word to you guys. Okay. It's paraphilia. So paraphilia, it's a compulsive sexual behavior and interest. It's different from a fetish because a fetish is just like, oh, you know, I like feet. Or we're going to use feet as an example.
Yeah.
I like feet, so every now and then I'm going to have a girl jack my dick off with feet. A paraphilia is every time we have a sexual encounter, I need feet in order to come.
Like, I don't know if I could ever be in a relationship with somebody like that.
No, but paraphilias can turn into mental disorders.
Yeah.
Like, they can actually be something that need to be treated because they are so insidious that they impair people's lives.
I'm sure.
Like a porn addiction, for example. Like, a lot of us watch porn. We enjoy watching porn. We masturbate to porn. But there's a difference between liking porn and having an addiction to porn to the point where I can't keep a job.
Right.
I can't have relationships. I can't do normal things. Like, it impairs my functioning.
Exactly.
So that's like the difference between like a fetish, oh, I like it, and a paraphilia where it's like, all right, this is a mental disorder. This is impairing my functioning.
That's so crazy. Like, I don't really have too much experiences with fetishes at all, or like any type of like sexual addiction. Like,
so you've never like been with someone and they've had like a specific thing that they are turned on by, and it's not something that's, I hate to say the word normal because normal makes it seem like whatever, but something that is not usual or familiar to you.
Like, I don't really know if it's a fetish, but I used to work with this girl, this Brazilian girl. She was older. She was older than me. She was like 32. And it was when I was like 22. 23. Okay. And she like, we worked together, and she started dating this guy, and her and the guy she would tell me all the stories about her and the guy. Like, that was our relationship.
Like sex stories.
Just in general, like relationship stories, sex stories, whatever.
So she would confide in you and tell you things.
Right. Okay. And he was really like a Christian Grey, like 50 Shades of Grey type stuff. Like, he liked to tie her up. Like, he used to have like nipple clamps on her, like all types of crazy stuff. But she would tell me these stories like all the time. And mind you, I worked at like in a kids club, like with like little kids. So like, we be sitting there with the jits, but she's telling me these stories. So like, I was really wondering like why she would always tell me these stories. Like, we worked with other people, but she would telling
you all this information about her boyfriend.
Yeah. So she invited me over. Long story short, and she was like, "Let's just have drinks, talk. You know, like we're cool."
Trying to finesse.
She finessed the hell out of me. She was a good-looking ass 32-year-old. Like, I can't even deny. Like, she looked good. She worked out. She was a hottie. But she said like let's have some wine. And what's even crazy about her mom worked with us, and her mom was like,
that's weird.
Yeah, but her mom was like a hippie. Like, her mom was just like, come over, we could have some space brownies. Like, I would never forget that she called them space brownies. She did. She called them space
Talking
brownies.
about weed brownies.
Yes, she did. And I had those weed brownies.
You had the space brownies.
And they had a lit ass house with like a super nice ass pool. But long story short, she convinced me to go to a sex club with her because her boyfriend wanted her to go, and she didn't want to go by herself. And her and I had gotten physical, just literally.
Wait, previously to going to the sex club?
Yeah, just from, I think it maybe was the space brownies. Maybe they knew what they were doing from the beginning.
Oh, so God. You're saying that you have been to her house before, just you and her mom offered y'all these space brownies, and then
space brownies before we came over. The space brownies were waiting for me when I got there. The space brownies were already prepared for me when I got there. But Yeah, so her and I kind of got lit off but it wasn't ever like really crazy. Like we kissed, like we made out, we felt up each other, but like it wasn't nothing like, really basic extreme.
Stuff, but you're exploring.
Yeah,
which is fun.
Which is awesome. And like I said, she was a hottie. So we so she told me to come to the sex club with her. Yeah, and I was like, whatever, just know you have to get me extremely fucked up. Like, I'm not just going to do this and come with you. I had never met her boyfriend. I had met her boyfriend because he worked out at the gym that we were working at. So I had met him through, like, these previous interactions, but never, like, fully had a conversation with him. So
how many space brownies did you eat?
I only had one. It was a hefty chunk though. It was a hefty chunk, and I felt very good. And we drank a lot. She asked me what I like to drink, and I wanted to be like nice, so we got Patron because I know white people don't drink Hennessy. So
this is a white. Oh, you said Brazilian, so white Brazilian.
Well, actually, she wasn't really Brazilian. Her ex-husband was Brazilian, so she spoke fluent Portuguese, which is hot.
So she's white but speaks Portuguese.
She speaks Portuguese.
Her husband is Brazilian.
Yes, and she considers herself Brazilian because her kids. She has 2 kids. She has 2 daughters.
First of all, you can't consider yourself Brazilian if you're not Brazilian.
Consider herself, but if people ask her, she'll be like, "I'm Brazilian."
No, bitch, you're not Brazilian.
She's not, but she was hot.
We're gonna go with it, and that's fine.
She was hot.
But as a side note,
I think it sounds better to say that I hooked up with a Brazilian girl.
It does than a white girl.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fine, and I agree with that.
Exactly. So
but as a side note, you can't be a white woman and say I'm Brazilian because you speak Portuguese and your husband is Brazilian.
You can't do that.
Whatever.
And not even current husband, ex-husband.
So she's Brazilian. Great.
So she is. So I met them, and so before we even went to the club, we had to get like dressed up.
Right.
Like I couldn't just go there in a little black dress and some heels. Like we had to like dress up. So I had on like lingerie. I had on like little, I don't know what to call the little dresses that are all lace. I had on like
a teddy, isn't that what they're called?
I guess so. Yeah, I think that is.
I feel like that's an old person term, but that is the word.
But that's what I had on, and it was white. It was a white lace like teddy, and I had on some like I wore heels, and like ready. She did my makeup, and it was really trash. Like she really sucked at it. But I was like, whatever you do, what you do my makeup.
Because you were off them space brownies.
Yeah,
and she's Brazilian, and so you're like, Brazilian. You know what? Fuck it.
Yeah, it was great. And so we went to the sex club, and it was the craziest thing I ever experienced. Probably because I was fucked up.
Yes.
First of all, but there was a lot of older people there.
You know what? Just as a side note, let's talk about swingers clubs for a second. Swingers clubs are dope. It's a dope environment because you go there and you don't have to have sex with anybody. You can go there and just hang out and chill and meet people and like almost kind of network with like swingers people.
I feel like the swingers club is such a like chill vibe because it's like so judgment free. Like it's a no judgment zone. Everyone's just there to just have a good fucking time. It's not like it's no phones. Ain't nobody out on their phones and recording stuff and none of that. Like it's just like
because people in the lifestyle know like, look, this is what we came here for.
Right.
It's very open. There's at least for the swingers clubs that I've been to back home in Maryland, it's a very like no means no policy. So if you are not interested in anything sexual, like there's no pressure. You do what you do. If you're interested, cool. If not, whatever.
And like, it's really chill like that because you could legitimately just say no and people are perfectly okay with it. So there was like, whatever. The whole night went, we ended up in a room, like, you know, you get your own private room, and there was another couple in the room, and, well, it was 3 of us, and then another couple in the room.
So 5 altogether?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the other guy and his girlfriend or wife, I'm not sure what it was, like, he wanted the guy we were with to have sex with her. And
his wife or his girlfriend.
Right, and he just wanted me and the girl I came with.
The Brazilian girl.
To just hook up with each other while that was all happening. He just wanted to watch.
Okay.
Like, that was just his thing. He just wanted to watch all of that happening.
So he didn't want to participate at all. He just wanted to see all of the girls fuck around
and watch his wife or girlfriend get fucked by another nigga, black nigga at that, because that's all he wanted to see. So I mean, I guess that was his fetish.
Actually, that's called cuckold. I don't know if you ever heard that word before.
I've always
but
seen
watching
it, but
your
never
wife
thought
get fucked by somebody else. Yeah.
I never knew what that was. That's
Yeah.
so awesome to find out what that was. So now I can click it on the porn site.
Cuckold. Yeah, that's what it is.
I never click it because I never
exactly
know
what it is.
But yeah, so we did that, and it was cool because he just wanted to see me and her, so that was like really
easy,
fine.
right.
So that was because me and her had already hooked up, so
right.
it was no big deal. But then my girl, her guy wanted to see like me with the other girl. And like it started off okay, but then I started really realizing like I don't know this bitch. Like I really don't know who the hell this lady is.
You came to like a realization that you're in a swingers club with strangers.
I was just like, you know what? I don't really think I'm okay with this. I think I'd rather just me and the girl I came with originally to do this, and that's fine with me. But nothing else I don't want to do. And it was dope. It worked out that way. We ended up leaving actually, and then the three of us did whatever we did back at the house. But because we were already so like lit and turned up from the club that turned into that. But it was just really crazy to see how many people. It was packed,
of course. So
it's crazy to see how many people actually enjoy that, and that's what they do like on a regular. So like, I don't think fetish is an uncommon thing. Like it's something that I feel like everyone has some extent of a fetish.
Absolutely. Everybody at the least has a preference that I would say could be considered a fetish. For sure.
Exclusive content brought to you by the 2K Life Network.
Yeah.
I mean, in that specific instance, the guy who wanted to watch you and his wife and the Brazilian girl, that is...
The Brazilian white girl.
The Brazilian white girl, right. That's voyeurism. So that's watching things happen. Which is dope. Like, I like to watch shit happen. But even more than I like to watch shit happen, I like to be watched. And that's exhibitionism.
Okay.
I like to be watched. I like to go to the swingers club and be watched.
See, I didn't think I liked that. I didn't think I liked that part of it. Like, I didn't mind the 5 of us that were there. Like, everything was happening. That was fine. But then, like, to have a public room where it's the room where people walk by and there's because literally it's set up like that. You can have a private room or you can have a public room where people literally just walk by and stare at you having sex, like they watch you having sex, and I wasn't comfortable with that part.
Yeah, so for the swingers club that I have been to, this is how the setup is for those of you who have never been to a swingers club. The upstairs in ours, I'm not sure about yours. Yeah. In ours was a bar/club. You go, you get drinks, you get comfortable, you mingle, and then when you go downstairs, that's where the action happens. And there was a number of rooms with a number of different fetishes.
Exactly.
So, for example, one of them, and I'm not lying to you, one of them had like a gynecology chair where you put your feet up on the stirrups.
I've seen it.
One of them had that in the room. There was another room that was water themed, so it was like under the sea. I don't fucking know what that means. Then there was one that was like BDSM. Then there was another that was an exhibitionist room. So basically it was a room that had like 4 or 5 beds and a lot of windows so that everyone that was inside, they're fucking doing their thing, but then you can be watched.
Right.
There's windows and you can stand outside and watch. That's the room that I went in. When I went to the swingers clubs, I like to be watched. So I went into the exhibitionist room and I got watched. I don't want to be in stirrups in a fucking gynecology chair.
Sound okay.
No.
I don't like the gynecologist.
Now,
the kind of gynecologist.
Chair, exactly. No, but who does? Who wants that to be a sexual thing?
Some people like that though. Some people, I mean, I don't want to say it's weird because maybe it's just their thing.
Typical. It's fetishes.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But you know what? I really am interested in BDSM. Like, I know that is a popular thing because of the 50 Shades of Grey. And I feel like a lot of people don't really know what that's about. And in a specific room in the swingers club that I went to, there was this thing where it's kind of like a crucifix, which sounds really terrible to talk about in this conversation. But it's like a crucifix where you put your arms and your legs out and you get strapped to it and it can spin.
Holy fuck.
That's intense, right?
As fuck.
Like, very.
Yeah, no.
But that was the BDSM room. And
so you've been strapped to this thing before?
No. I saw it and I was like very interested in doing it, but I never did it.
I want to see you do it. Just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there.
Well, I think for me, all right, so BDSM is bondage, dominance and submission, and sadism and masochism. Sadism is inflicting pain.
Right.
Masochism is receiving the pain. For me, I think that I'm into submission. I like to be submissive. I like to be obedient.
Yeah.
So I could have someone who is dominant and telling me what to do. But I don't know that I really I'm not into the pain thing at all.
So does that make a difference? Like, can you be a dominant but be, what was it? I mean, the one
submissive?
No, can you be a dominant but be the one who likes to receive pain? But can you be a submissive but
not like to receive pain?
Yeah.
For sure. I think that a lot of people have the wrong idea because from what we read about BDSM in the books and the movies and everything, we think that it's mostly about pain.
Yeah.
Either giving it or getting it. But really, BDSM is about power dynamics. It's about I'm in control, you're not in control. It can be about humiliation. There's so many things that go on with BDSM, that whole lifestyle, that has nothing to do with inflicting or receiving pain.
So, like, how does all of that start? Like, fetishes, BDSM, like, how do you become attached to liking to do
a certain
this type
fetish
of stuff? Yeah, like,
so based on the research, there's honestly no definitive answer. Like, there is no certain thing that causes you to have a fetish.
Okay.
Like, I think people would mostly think, oh, something happened to that person and that's what caused it. And that certainly could be an option. Like, for example, peeing, right? So say you're like 9 years old, 10 years old maybe, and a boy, and you hear your mom peeing, and you get, your dick gets hard. I was going to say erection, but that sounds so like medical. But so say your dick gets hard. Yeah. And then from there, when you start masturbating, every time you think about the sound of urine, you think the sound of your mom peeing. So then when you become an adult, your fetish is peeing, hearing the sound of peeing.
That's really crazy.
So it could be that. It could be just the way your brain is wired. There's like a number of things that can cause fetishes. There's not one definitive thing that kind of causes it.
That's insane.
It's different, right?
So many fetishes. That's what's crazy is that, like, if you look up on porn
or
gosh, like
for
anything,
days.
There's so many different kinds of fetishes. There's tongue fetishes. There's like latex fetishes.
Yes.
Like
there's latex. There's pissing on people, shitting on people. There's age play. There's like we talk about voyeurism.
What is age play?
So age play is like when you like to dress up as a different age. So say, look, Flex and I are around 25. And we want to dress up as 2-year-olds, as infants.
So like wear diapers.
So we put diapers on. We build a crib that is big enough for us to fit in.
That's so crazy.
And someone takes care of us. Someone cuddles us. Someone picks us up. Someone feeds us.
So like this is another question I have. So like the first time I remember any type of like fetish stuff happening, I was super young. I was like 12 or 13.
Yeah.
And I was watching on HBO Real Sex. That's when I thought it was popping.
Real Sex
I was watching some type of porn.
I feel like all of us at our age watched Real Sex, and because we were underage when we watched it, we got like weirdly turned on by it.
But it was so corny. Now I sit and think about it, like you only see
as an adult,
tits.
It's corny.
Yeah, you only see tits and ass. You don't even get to see no pussy. Like you don't get to
but
see,
as like a teenager, that shit for me at least was very erotic.
For me it was awesome. I felt like I was like super popping for watching it.
Sure.
But it was about fetishes, and the main fetish that I could remember was like a latex fetish. Yeah. But so what I remember is people weren't even having sex.
No.
Like they were just dressing up in the latex, you know, like just the thought or just having someone peel the latex off of them was a turn on. Arousing, or like they had balloons was one thing, and which is I think it's a whole nother type of fetish.
There's another fetish about sitting on balloons and popping them, about biting them, about anything with balloons. So
there was a dude on the show, I will never forget this, and I'm seriously like 12 or 13, and he would have the balloons like popped on him, and like every time it popped on him, he would like moan and groan, like it turned him on. And I really can't sit and remember now if he came from that, like, but that's what I've realized is about certain types of like, or from when I look at it on porn, at least, like a lot of the fetishes, like they don't actually have sex.
Yeah, so I think a lot of time because of how we're socialized, we think that sex is all about penetration and specifically a man ejaculating. Right? That's how we imagine a successful sex session.
Yeah.
But realistically, a lot of fetishes have nothing to do with penetration. Like age play, for example, that a lot of times has nothing to do with actually having penetrative sex. That's just about dressing up like a child and you're getting sexual arousal from that. Or from your specific example, it's dressing up in latex and the feeling of latex, the smell of latex. So it has nothing to do with penetration, but it's sexual because there are so many things that have to do with sex that aren't penetrative.
So do you have to come?
No, absolutely not.
So, like, how do you end that type of stuff? That's my real question. Like, how do you even, like, okay, so, like, this is awesome. I feel good. This is fun. But, like, when does it end? Like, if I don't come, then when does it end?
I mean,
I don't know. Not if I don't come over, but if somebody doesn't come.
Right. Well, yeah, and we talked about this before. Like, having an orgasm is not always the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times,
That's
of course,
so
for
true.
men, that's straight men, that feels like the ultimate goal. But that's not always the ultimate goal of sexual encounters. It's enjoying it, loving it,
Yeah.
feeling turned on. Have you ever masturbated and you're about to come and then you stop and you don't let yourself come and just kind of sit in that feeling of about to climax but not doing it?
I've done it, but not on purpose.
Okay, well,
honestly.
do it on purpose and just sit in that feeling of everything feels so fucking good. I'm so close, but I'm not there yet, and just sit in that
But
euphoria.
what happens after that?
It just feels good,
Okay.
and then you can come, and then it'll make your orgasm stronger because you pushed it off.
Right. Okay, that I can see happening. That sounds lit, actually.
I mean, I think so, but look, I just had a savage thought.
2K Life Network, where you can find all your favorite podcasts.
So I got an email from this girl, and she's basically telling me how she recently got gangbanged by 5 dudes.
So we talked about this before. Like,
She got gangbanged.
You like watching gangbang porn?
I love watching gangbang porn. Look, she got gangbanged by 5 guys, and she's emailing me and she's asking me, like, should I feel ashamed? I really loved it. I don't know how to feel. Boom, boom, boom. And first of all, getting gangbanged is also a fetish, just as a side note.
I feel like everything is a fetish. Now I feel like I have 17 fetishes now leaving the like I feel like I have so many fetishes, but wow. Okay, so she got gangbanged.
She got gangbanged. And she's asking me, like, how to feel about it. Like, should she feel ashamed? Should she feel badly? Is it a good or bad thing? Or boom, boom, boom. And I have to respond. I'm responding to her.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And right. So as you said, like, I personally, like, gangbangs are my fetish. Like, that is my fetish.
Yeah.
And to me, there's absolutely nothing wrong with getting gangbanged. If you like to get gangbanged, enjoy it. Make sure that you're comfortable. Make sure that you feel safe. Have a safe word, right? If you feel uncomfortable and you don't want to do it anymore, exactly. You say pineapples and then everything stops.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, to me, getting gangbanged is awesome. That's definitely not for everybody. But
everything isn't for everybody, right? Like,
right.
You're comfortable with what you're comfortable with, and you deal with people that you know understand that.
Exactly. Right, like, I'm not going to get gangbanged by everybody.
Exactly.
Or anybody.
Exactly.
Like, there are specific people who I feel comfortable doing that with, so that's who I do it with.
So you have experience?
I have extensive experience in gangbangs.
Shout out to you.
But that's because that's my thing.
No,
like,
yeah. It's just something you like to do.
It is.
And that's dope.
I think so. I mean, that's what I like to do. Now, how I got started doing that.
Yeah, like, how did this all come about? Like, how did you even decide that,
that was a thing?
Like, what was your first, like,
Look,
gangbang experience
this is not like an actual gangbang. This is like mini gangbang, but this is how it started. When I was in middle school, all right, this sounds like really terrible, but when I was in middle school, I had a boyfriend, and he had homeboys, obviously. Boom, right? Okay. So one time we skipped school, and we were all in my boyfriend's house, and it was my boyfriend and 2 of his homeboys. I feel like as I'm talking about this now, it sounds really terrible because it was middle school age. Like I feel like this is like so not okay to listen to.
Okay.
But I'm gonna share the story anyway.
No, you should.
I'm gonna share it because this is my life, right? So we're in the basement of my boyfriend's house, and he's eating my pussy, and his two homeboys are sucking on both of my titties. So one is on one tit, one is on the other. And I'm like in pure euphoria because
awesome.
everything, side note, my spot is my nipples. Like if you touch my nipples at all, I'm going to fuck your brains out.
Side note, that's dope as fuck because I thought that it might have been like a big titty girl thing that it doesn't happen for me because it doesn't happen for me. Like,
oh my God, no.
I like when you play with my nipples, but if you didn't, I'd be really okay as
well.
well.
No, for me, if you touch my nipples, I will fuck your life up. I will ruin your life.
I'm so jealous. But go ahead.
That's just me. That's my spot. So I'm in like pure euphoria, and as I'm experiencing this, I'm like, I like multiples. Like this is my thing. I like this. And so basically from there, as I'm getting older, I go into high school, I just continuously have these experiences with multiples. And then up until college, I'm...
So like when your first experience happened, did your boyfriend like bring it up? Like did he bring it out to you to say like this is what, or it just
no, it was totally
really
organic. Yeah, no, it was totally organic. It was like, oh, we probably were high too, honestly, but it was like, oh, we're all
lit as.
Yo, I was lit as
7th and 8th grade.
This was like my 8th grade year. It was very fucking lit.
Yo, I was such a cornball. Like I had a boyfriend,
but that's okay.
And we were so in love, and we didn't have sex until my freshman year of high school.
It is okay that while you were a cornball, I was getting fucking mini gang bang by people,
and I was watching real sex, so
and I was having like anal sex. But you know what? That's a whole other story. So that is how my gang bang fetish started. Like it was like honestly, I think it was a power thing for me because although I am a submissive person, honestly, in submission, you have power because you are the one deciding what is going on, even though you're not like directing it. So then I grew up and a lot of my sexual experiences were with multiples. Like that was my thing.
That's dope.
But you know what? This is what I see. I have seen so many things on Twitter, specifically like videos of girls who are in the room with multiple guys, and the caption is always something that has to do with like her being taken advantage of or them manipulating her or it not being her decision. And I don't fuck with that at all because the thing is, we really see female sexuality as always being the obedient and submissive. And it's like the man desires sex and the woman is to be desired, if that makes sense.
No, it does.
And that leaves it so that like women don't have any sexuality. And that's totally false. That's false.
Yeah.
Like we are sexual beings, yes?
Yeah, 100%.
Right. Like, and for me, it's like when I see shit like that, I want to scream to everybody like, there are women who enjoy the idea of being taken advantage of. Yeah. It's not like they're really being manipulated. They totally know what's going on.
Low key, not even low key, high key as fuck, the pussy holds the power. Like, we legitimately decide whether we want to give you the pussy or we don't want to give you the pussy. Like, that's really what it is, regardless of how we do it, regardless if it's 6 of you or if it's one of you. Like, we decide whether we want to give you the pussy or we don't want to. And I think that's dope that you even I love that you have that ideal and like you're good with that because that's the whole double standards. And
absolutely, like I think that men really think that women are not interested in those kind of sexual encounters, but that is totally false. And when I am in those specific sexual encounters and a lot of other women, we are totally in control. Yeah. So yes, it seems like, okay, she's being taken advantage of, but that is what I'm going for.
Exactly.
That's what I want. I want you to feel like rape fantasies. That's a real thing.
It is.
And no, I obviously don't want to actually be raped, but it's a rape fantasy.
Exactly.
It is, I feel safe and trusting with you that you can take advantage of me in a way where you're not actually taking advantage of me. Right. And it's dope and it fucking turns me on.
So it's all about like consent. Like it's all about
of
you
course.
Saying, yes, I'm okay with this. No,
absolutely.
I'm not okay with that. Like either on both sides. I can't just say the pussy has the power because it's on both sides. Maybe you want to do some shit that he's not into, you know, and you guys have to always have that conversation. Like,
of course.
That has to be known.
Of course. Like, in order to be submissive to somebody, you have to have a conversation first about what it is that you're okay with doing or not okay with doing. Like, you can't be submissive to someone and not talk about things and go straight into it. Like, no, if I'm submissive and you're dominant, I have to tell you, look, this is what I'm comfortable with, this is what I'm not comfortable with, so that when we start having whatever sexual encounter we're going to have, you know what I'm down to do. So really, and this is why I always try to tell people, submissive people really hold the power, because they're the ones who are saying ultimately, like, yes, I will suck your dick in this position, but no, you cannot fuck me in the ass like this. Like, it's up to me.
That's why I liked the little short-term relationship I had with that couple. Like, being the, like, other girl in the relationship is, like, really dope, because you really do hold the power. Like, you really do let them know, like, I'm not about this life, like, or I am. Like, you tell them what you want, you tell them what you like, and they agree to it or they don't agree to it. And, like, I told you, like, after the whole sex club experience, I mean, yes, we went back to the house and we turned up and it was awesome, but it was kind of like an ending. We kind of had to end it from there, because that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to continue that with their relationship, and I didn't want to continue that with our relationship. So,
and that's fine.
The bud right there, but it was fine. We had that understanding that that's all about what it is the understanding of what I like, what I don't like.
Right. So you learned with that couple that you don't like being watched. Like, that's not your thing.
It's not my thing.
So what is your thing?
Stop what you're doing and turn your speakers up. This is a brand new podcast brought to you by the 2K Life Network.
First of all, we already learned Flex has the bomb throat skills from the last podcast.
That's me.
That you got the bomb throat skills. You don't got to use your hands. Like, all right, we know.
No,
so other than that,
no, I still want to get my hands pruny. That's like a goal now. Like, I want to get my hands pruned. That is really a goal. Like, I have to make that happen. But my thing, I like making people come, if that is a thing.
For sure. So do you like making people come, or do you like seeing come? Like, so for example, me specifically, I definitely have a fetish with sperm, like with semen. Like, I like to see nut come out of a dick. Like, if you're sending, first of all, I hate dick pics. Don't fucking send me dick pics. But if you're gonna send me anything, send me videos of you nutting. Like, that shit turns me on. I love to see how nut, like, spurts out of a dick. That's like... It sounds weird, right? But that's a fetish,
really,
for sure.
Though, it doesn't really. I don't care for that part, though. I like watching people come. Like, I like how people's bodies react to coming.
So you don't like just, like, so for me, I like how nut looks coming out of a dick. You like the entire, like, toes curl, the facial expression, the noises.
The noises are so important to me. Like, the noises are so important to me. Like, I like with a girl, like, when a girl comes and, like, she already comes the first time and then she's super sensitive and you go to touch her and she jumps again.
Yes.
Oh my
God.
God.
You did say last time you like to watch girls come more than guys.
I freaking love that. But I like guys when they come, when they're about to come, how, like, their whole body tenses up.
Yeah.
And they can't fucking move and there's nothing else they can do but tell you to keep going, like, or keep doing whatever fuck you're doing. Like, that whole part of it excites the fuck out of me.
That sounds like a power thing. Is that a power thing for you?
It 100% is. Like, it 100%. I like knowing that at that moment, I made you lose complete control of yourself, that your body doesn't know what it's doing. You don't know what it's doing. Like, you just have to go with whatever the fuck is happening because I did that.
Right.
I love that.
Have you ever fucked a guy who makes no noise when they come?
No, never.
Because I have totally fucked some guys who are silent comers, and that shit is so weird.
No, that scares the hell out of me. That
like, why are you quiet? No. Why are you making no noise right now? Are you nutting or not?
I would freak out. Like, unless there's a mirror or something where at least I can see him.
It's weird, right?
And he's like but like if he's hitting me from the back and he's about to come and like
and makes no noise,
stops, I'm gonna be very pissed off.
Exactly.
Like, that's gonna be so weird. But I've never really had that. You've had that experience?
With what, a silent comer?
Yeah.
Yes, I have totally fucked dudes who, like, think it's weird to make no noise, and so when they come, they're silent as fuck, and they just nut. So I don't know if I said this last time, but, like, I have a thing with nut, which I already said, but I like to be nutted in. So like normally when I do fuck dudes, well, this sounds like crazy, but like normally when I do fuck dudes, I like them to nut inside me.
Okay.
So if you're a silent comer,
so your birth control is on heavy.
my new ring is on fleek, bitch.
Okay.
Like that shit is on fleek.
Okay.
But yeah, I fuck dudes and it's like they come silently, but the only way that I know that they nutted is because
they nut inside of
cream
you.
pie. Right, exactly. Like I know that I see it, I feel it, I let it out, whatever. Okay. But like, and it's very weird though because like they'll nut and I don't even know, and then they stop and I'm like, I guess the sex is over, cool. And I'm awkward, and then I go to the toilet, sit down on the toilet, and it's like, there it is. There it is.
That's really funny. I don't know, but that's your thing. You have a few things I see.
Look,
your nipples are a thing.
Yes.
Sing cum is a thing. Gang banging is a thing.
Definitely. Those are my thing.
I think that's dope.
And that's it. Look, that's what it is.
It is what it is.
And it's always been that way. I've never not had those interests, but that was interesting to learn about the couple, the fake Brazilian couple.
The fake Brazilian couple. He was black. The dude was black.
I feel like you didn't say that part,
I didn't,
and that would have been
part.
more like interesting for me to know.
Yeah, the dude was black, and she was fake Brazilian.
Perfect.
Yeah, it was an interesting time. She hit me up last week. I may need to
hit her up. We should bring her to the studio.
I may need to call her.
We need to bring her in the studio.
She has kids and shit. I don't know how down.
Don't
she is
bring the
for
fucking
that.
kids. Just bring her.
It's good times though.
Flex, thank you so much for coming back in the studio with me.
It's always so much fun.
I love having you here.
I love being here. I really do.
Good. Remind people where they can find you.
Follow me on Snapchat. Flex_2K with 3 X's. FLEXXX_2K. That's me.
2K Life.
That's me. Shout out to my tootsies again.
That's right. Yeah, I feel like we should always do shout outs. So any other shout outs you want to do?
Shout out to my tootsies. Shout out to 2K Life as usual. Shout out to Raquel Savage for
yes.
bringing me here. Savage Life.
Yes.
That's it.
I don't have any shout outs. I don't know who to shout out.
You can shout me out.
Shout out Flex.
Yay.
Shout out G, even though he's not here today.
Shout out to G.
Shout out 2K.
It's lit.
Again, if you aren't, please follow me on Twitter, Raquel_Savage, and on IG, Raquel Savage. If you have any feedback or questions, or if you want to suggest a topic for another show, please feel free to email me at rock.savage@gmail.com. That's RAQ.savage@gmail.com.